The African sun hung heavy in the sky, casting ripples of heat over the golden savannah. Beneath an acacia tree, a lion lay motionless. His breathing was shallow, each inhale a struggle. Blood soaked the earth beneath his flank, leaking from the cruel metal of a poacher's trap. Baruti, once king of these plains, was now broken. His golden coat was streaked with dust, his mane tangled with burrs. Each time he tried to move, a bolt of pain lanced through his body. The pride had left him. They had no choice. The wild could not wait for the wounded. When Elijah first saw the lion, he froze. From a distance, the beast looked like a fallen god, a creature too powerful to ever fall so low. But then he saw the trap, the blood, the shivering muscles. Elijah wasn't a hunter. He wasn't a doctor. Just a farmer, a man who tilled the land his father had tilled, who lived on the edge of the wild but never dared enter it. And yet, that day, something stirred inside him. "I can't leave him," he murmured, though no one was there to hear. He went back to his house, gathered tools, water, strips of cloth, and a pair of old gloves. His wife Maria watched him quietly, but didn't stop him. She knew Elijah's heart too well. When he returned, the lion hadn't moved. His golden eyes watched Elijah approach, half-lidded, resigned. There was no strength left to fight. "I won't hurt you," Elijah said softly, though he knew the words meant little. With slow, careful hands, he worked, first to loosen the trap, then to clean the wound. The lion flinched once, a rumble low in his throat, but did not strike. Elijah wrapped the wound as best he could, leaving food and water close by. And so began the strange ritual. Every morning, Elijah returned. Every day he tended, and every night the lion watched him with wary, wondering eyes. On the fifth day, the lion rose, unsteady, trembling, but standing. He looked at Elijah a long moment, a moment that stretched beyond words, beyond fear. And then he turned and with slow dignity walked back into the wild. The years rolled forward like the tides. Elijah's hair turned gray. His fields grew and withered and grew again. Children he had taught to read now worked beside him in the soil. Sometimes from the hills he thought he saw a lion, a flash of tawny fur among the rocks, a silhouette against the setting sun. But the lion never approached, never came near again, and Elijah never sought him. Yet a bond had been forged, silent and deep. The villagers spoke of it in half whispers. "The lion watches him," they'd say. "He owes him a life." But Elijah never spoke of it himself. Baruti too had changed. His strength had waned. Younger males had challenged him, driven him from the pride. Now he roamed alone, a king without a kingdom, memories haunting him like distant thunder. In his dreams, he remembered the hands that had freed him, the gentle voice, the pain, and then the relief. And sometimes, beneath the stars, he would lift his great head and stare toward the humans' village as if listening for a call he could no longer hear. It was the scent of smoke that stirred him, not the wildfires he knew, not the acrid burn of hunters' fires. This was different, thicker, sweeter, laced with sorrow. He climbed the ridge and looked down toward the village. People gathered in dark clothing. The sky above them carried thin trails of smoke rising from a small pyre near the chapel. Baruti watched. He understood death. He had watched lions die, fought for kills, defended cubs that did not survive. But this was human death, wrapped in strange rituals. Something deep inside stirred, a memory. The man, the hands, the voice. He lay down on the ridge and waited as the sun began its descent. And when the sky turned amber, he rose and began to walk. The village saw him before they heard him, a shadow moving with purpose from the hills. A child pointed, "Mama, a lion!" There was fear at first, murmurs of alarm, shuffling feet, hands reaching for stones and sticks. But the elders stopped them. "Wait," old Nia said, her wrinkled hand raised gently. "He's not here to harm." For they had heard the old stories. The lion that had been saved, the lion that watched from the hills. Baruti crossed the edge of the village, his paws silent on the dust. He walked straight, slow toward the chapel where the wooden casket lay surrounded by flowers and prayer cloths. The villagers parted. No one spoke. When he reached the casket, Baruti lowered his head. He pressed his massive forehead against the wood, closing his amber eyes, and then he lay down beside it. Through the night, the villagers watched. The lion did not move. He did not eat. He made no sound but the quiet rhythm of his breathing. Around him, they sang their morning songs. They lit candles. They spoke of Elijah's kindness, how he had fed the poor, taught the young, repaired roofs with his own hands, given without asking. And always beside the stories, the lion lay still. Some said he grieved, others said he honored a debt, and some, watching the rise and fall of that great chest, whispered, "He knows." When the first light of dawn touched the village, Baruti rose, slowly, stiffly, but with dignity. He looked once more at the casket, then at the people, and then he turned, padding back toward the hills, toward the wild that awaited him. The villagers did not follow. They did not call. They simply watched until his golden shape was swallowed by the tall grass and the morning mist. And though they never saw him again, the story remained, a story passed from lips to ears, from elders to children, a story of a lion and a man, of kindness and debt, of love that crossed the boundary between the wild and the human world. And in the savannah, where the wind bent the grass and the sun crowned the hills, they said that sometimes, if you watched closely, you might see an old lion standing alone, gazing down toward the village, remembering, and that even the wildest heart, once touched by grace, never forgets. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible true stories.